So it's day 5. We're here day 5. We're rolling along. I was able to fit in 3 activities today. 2 films and 1, that's why I say activities, because the first one was the In Conversation with Tessa, Thompson, and DaCosta. I saw Hen, saw Wrong Husband, then I'll be seeing The Smashing Machine within the next hour. So starting with the In Conversation with Tessa Thompson and DaCosta, that was the first time I'd ever been to an In Conversation with. Out of all of the conversation withs that were offered this year, that one made the most sense because I saw Hedda last night, that was the world premiere, and then today was able to hear more about it and hear more from them specifically. So I think that was really, really cool. I would probably only do this for specific people. I wouldn't do this all the time. It was different than a Q&A. You could get more information from both Nia and Tessa about their careers, about the current film Hedda. There were stories told about how they first met and how they began their working relationship that has grown and blossomed over the years. So it was really cool to hear all that and cool to see that. So yeah, I'm really glad that I went to that. Then next up we had Hen. As we follow the adventurous story of a hen desperate to raise a family, a terrible human tragedy unfolds in the background. Hen was an interesting film. It's actually really good. I was a little nervous about it. I wouldn't say it was really amazing. It was really good though. It's so interesting. You actually do get invested in this story about the hen. You get invested in the hen itself. I don't know how to explain it because I was thinking like, how is this going to unfold as an audience? How are we going to be invested in this hen and the hen story? There's the hen story, there is a human story as well. The human story is also interesting, but it's not as interesting as the hen story. And I think that's very, very important. Actually, the director of the Q&A mentioned that, where they wanted to kind of have a human story kind of play in the background, just like it did, but not take away from the hen story. That's the biggest piece. But while that's happening, something else can be happening, parallel to that, and have the two worlds sort of collide, and they do. Because of this film, we end up finding out exactly why the chicken crossed the road. That's a part of the film. The only knock really against this film is that I would say the first act is set up really well, and we're rolling along at a pretty good pace. The second act, and even the third act, I would say, there's valleys. There were a few points in this film where I was thinking, ooh, this scene has gone on a little bit longer than I would like. Can we move on to the next thing? That's the only knock that I have against it though, but it was funny. I do appreciate that the human story did not take away from the hen story. The reaction shots of the hen, when something would happen and then it would cut back to a close-up of the hen and just the reaction, like I can't say facial expression, but the reaction and the noise that it made. Great editing. They really knew exactly where to place certain head movements and certain noises that it made to really emphasize or display how the hen was feeling. For a star rating, I kind of go back and forth between 3.5 stars and 4 stars. You know what? Let me land on 3.5. It's not the highlight of the festival or something I'm going to rave about, so let's do 3.5. And then the film that I just saw was Wrong Husband. After a mysterious death, 2 young people are separated despite being promised to each other at birth. With the help of spirit guides, efforts are made to restore harmony in this Arctic fairy tale set in an Inuit community. This was a really good film, and I say it like that for a reason. The film itself was really good. The cinematography is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Every shot is gorgeous. There are a lot of scenes that let you just sit and take in the beauty. The one thing that kind of prevents me from really truly singing the praises of this film is that there are quite a few actors in this that are brand new actors. They've never acted before, and it shows. There are quite a few scenes where they're saying something, but their facial expressions or their body language or even just the intensity in which they're saying it is not coming through. They're supposed to be mad and they're saying something that you know that they're mad about, and there's just nothing on the face to show it. So that was the one thing that really pulled me out. The direction is great. It's not really, that's not really the problem. You know, the story is very interesting. And I love how it is set thousands of years ago. So it's not set in contemporary times, it is set in the past, in the very distant past. Because they were new, I think that holds a lot back in terms of emotion and, really driving the emotional factor in this film. I didn't really feel anything, and that was, I guess, my biggest problem. And I think it does have to do with the fact that they are unknown. Now, the director of the Q&A specifically said that he wanted to find new actors.
And I know a lot of the cast some of them are very new. Can you tell us how you found everyone for the film? What was the process like?
Like, we wanted to get new actors, young actors. So we went on radio, we went to the high school to get them interested, and some of them are here.
And that's great, and I honestly believe that should happen more. More films should have new actors be part of it, because how else are they going to get a shot? There are some scenes that are great. There are some actors that are actually really fantastic in this as well.
They want 60-year-old talent, and I was 61. I thought I was too old, but they picked me up, so it was fun. We had fun.
But then the times where there isn't really anything being emoted through the screen and really coming across in a genuine, authentic, and powerful way, that's what holds it back for me. So I really do think this could be an easy 4.5 star film. I have to give it 3.5. It's always a struggle for me because I'm sitting here and I'm saying it's a 3.5 star film, but I want more films like that to be made. And I want more films like this to be shown. So it's kind of, it's not that I feel bad. I don't know. I struggle with it. But anyway, that's that. I'm about to leave and go see The Smashing Machine. Excited for that. The Smashing Machine, the story of legendary mixed martial arts and UFC fighter Mark Kerr. Okay, so The Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine was fine. It was good. I didn't think it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. It was very well made. I love Benny Safdie. I think he is a fantastic director.
Mark Kerr, the man himself. Dwayne Johnson, who plays Mark Kerr in this movie. Just that there was something about Mark and his vulnerability and his strength and just his willingness to try and understand his emotions, however complicated they were.
And I remember very early, Benny said to Emily and I, I'm obsessed with this idea of just trying and what it's like to try. And, regardless of what situation you're in, if you just try, imagine what the world would be like if you just tried to be something or do something. And really that's what Mark really, he embodies.
It is well directed. That's not the issue. I had two kind of problems with it. I mean, overall, the movie's fine, right? The movie's fine. It's probably, 3.5 stars? It's a fine movie. It's just, I was expecting more. I was expecting this to be better. And I was expecting it to have more of an impact, and it didn't. Okay, so the first thing that I didn't like about the film was I don't think it went deep enough, because I was reading reviews on the actual documentary that was made years ago, and every single comment seemed to say the same thing, that it's a hard watch. It really dives deep. Now, I haven't seen the documentary, so I don't know exactly how deep down that rabbit hole it goes. I just feel like this film didn't do that. It kind of touched on things, but it decided to pull back a little bit. I want it to go further. It does linger from time to time on certain things. I don't know, it wasn't juicy enough. And I don't mean juicy as in terms of like exploitation or melodrama or anything like that. I just mean juicy as in I just feel like we just stayed at a high level the entire film. The second thing I was disappointed in is actually Dwayne Johnson's performance. And not because it's bad, because it's not. It is a good performance. But I feel like, before the film started, Cameron Bailey came on stage and he said, oh, you've never seen Dwayne Johnson like this. It's a transformative performance and yada, yada, yada. I didn't think so. I thought his performance was good. Again, I think it was lacking a certain depth to it. I really thought that this was going to knock it out of the park. I thought at the end, I was going to be like, whoa, man, Dwayne Johnson. Is Dwayne Johnson going to be nominated for Best Actor? Probably. I think everybody's talking about how it's a transformational performance and you've never seen anything like it from him before. And it is true, like you haven't seen him like this before, but it's called acting and he's finally had to do it and he's surpassing low standards. So I think that might be the difference. So that's the Smash Machine. For me, it's an easy 3.5 stars. It's a good film. It's just not an amazing film. So that was my night. That was my day. Another day down. Many more to go though. And so, yeah, see you tomorrow.